Hello students, today I am going to explain you the third chapter of your book. The name of the chapter is Gopal and the Hilsa fish. This is the vocabulary list for you that is going to help you out to understand the chapter easily. Fishmongers, traders in fish. Downcast, down with shame. Later, afterwards. Smearing means daubing. Disgraceful, shameful. Rags meaning torn clothes. Mystic, difficult to explain. Want, desire. Get away, be off. At once, instantly. Crazy, fanciful. Ridiculous, humorous. Strangely, in odd manner. Students, you are requested to read the chapter thoroughly. Reading is very important. Before starting the explanation, we will discuss about the character sketch of the main character of the story. The main character of the story is Gopal. Gopal was a famous courtier in the palace of king. He was brave and bold. And when the time came, he did not shy away from taking the challenge. Rather, he went ahead, got into the form of a beggar and brought the Hilsa fish inside the palace without being raising a hype about it. Hype, you can say, students, an advertisement that tells you how important a product is. That is called as hype. Gopal was simple and down to earth person. Otherwise, people at courtier position do not go to such low levels just to impress their king. The challenge that Gopal took suggested that he could take up any form or resemblance to help the people of his kingdom. Because of good values, Gopal is favorite of the king. Now let's start the summary of the chapter. Gopal and the Hilsa fish is a short story covered in the NCERT Class 7th English textbook Honeycomb. The story is funny in its tone and nature and presented in the comic form, not in PDF or simple word format. So it's very interesting, students. Reading is required. Before you get into the realms of the story, means in the depth of the story, you must know that Hilsa is a popular fish, a very famous fish, found in rivers of India. It's mostly sold during monsoon season. And in the story, the season is probably of monsoon only. In the kingdom, everyone seems talking about the Hilsa fish. Fishermen catching no other fish in particular, but only focusing on Hilsa fish. Even in the market, fish merchants selling Hilsa fish in great gusto. Gusto, you can say excitement, enthusiasm. They are offering even discounts and other hacks to lure. Lure means to trick somebody to do something. That is lure the customers. The height of popularity reaches inside the king's palace. Even the ministers and the courtiers found gossiping and discussing only about Hilsa fish. It is like Hilsa fish seems to be an important topic over other state affairs, and everybody was talking only about the Hilsa fish. So much stupidity all around. This angers the king. The king became angry. He wants that to be stopped, that nobody must talk only about the Hilsa fish. The king is shocked to find Gopal talking about the fish. Gopal is a courtier in the court. The king challenges Gopal to bring Hilsa fish in the palace without getting hyped about it, without talking about what? Hilsa fish. And without thinking, Gopal accepts the challenge. A few days later, Gopal gets half shaven and smears ash on his face and takes on torn and dirty clothes. Now he looks like a filthy beggar. Filthy means dirty. His wife opposes him, but he listens nothing. From the market, he buys a Hilsa fish and walks towards the palace. No one is interested in the fish carried by him. At the palace gates, he is stopped by the guards. They think he is some beggar. He insists on meeting the king. Insist meaning to force, that he want to meet the king. Upon causing some commotion meaning noise and chaos, the king allows the men to come in. Gopal introduced himself before the king. The king asked him why he was dressed up in that fashion. Gopal explained that when he was coming to the palace, not a single man spoke about Hilsa fish. Why? Because everyone got attracted towards his peculiar means strange look. They didn't mind the fish. The king remembered the challenge he had thrown to Gopal. He congratulated Gopal on his achieving the impossible. So in this way, students, in this story, how Gopal was able to accept the challenge and was able to get success also. Why? Because he was confident about it. What Gopal has done to just get the success? Gopal half shaved his face, smeared ash on his body and put on rags before he went to buy the Hilsa fish. Everybody noticed only Gopal instead of the Hilsa fish. And when they were not interested in Hilsa fish, they stopped talking about the fish. And that was only the challenge the king had given to Gopal. So in this way, the king was very happy that Gopal was able to accept the challenge and was able to fulfill it. Moral of the story: Gopal had no need to take up the challenge, as he was a courtier in the king's palace. He could have declined it and continued leading the luxurious life as usual. However, Gopal cared about his king and his feelings. Thus he took up the challenge. Yes, the challenge was not huge. It proved that during the times of emergency, Gopal will definitely help his king and the people of the kingdom. Another moral is that taking challenge in life is good and makes one popular. Please pay attention, students. This is the thing you are going to learn from this particular chapter, that taking challenge in life is very important and it makes one popular, famous. A person like Gopal, who has been appointed on the higher rank of courtier, is so down to earth that he literally dressed like a beggar. Never run away from the challenges. Be open to them and accept them like a brave man. So from this story, we are learning that we must always be ready to accept the challenges. I hope, students, you have understood the chapter, and now you are required to read the chapter by your own and just solve the exercises in your fair notebook. Thank you, students, for patience listening. Have a nice day.